It's Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. Markets did not seem to like what Jamie Dimon had to say today. He said that the banking crisis is not over, and when it is over, it will cause repercussions for years to come. Markets did not like hearing that at all today. Dow Jones was down about 200 points, NASDAQ down 63. I'll tell you what did like hearing that was gold and silver. Silver was up over $1 today. Gold was up around $38 today. We now have silver over $25 an ounce. Gold ripping past $2,000 an ounce. The metals suspect something's going on. And the more you watch days like this where you see silver up over $1 and gold up over $30, $38, $37 today, depending on where you're looking at it, it is telling you and I that something is up. There's a lot of fear out there, and there's more and more money, cash, running into hard tangible assets, the two most undervalued assets on planet Earth, gold and silver. And it's going to keep going up, ladies and gentlemen. And heaven forbid the Fed pivots. You're going to see the metals go absolutely ballistic. The hedge today, gold and bonds soar after weak jobs, manufacturing data, rate cut odds soar. Now, they're talking about the 25 basis point rate hike in May now only being around 50%, less than 50% now. So there's a chance we may not even get a rate hike in May, less than 50%. Also, the market is wanting to believe, hoping that the Fed is going to pivot. And gold and silver is telling us something that, number one, there is much more inflation coming. Number two, the Fed could at some point this summer pivot. I don't know. I really don't know if the Fed can even pivot at this point, which with as much hard talk, they would completely destroy their reputation. I think Jerome Powell would go down as the laughing stock in the history books. I don't think he'll do it, but if he does, gold and silver are going to go absolutely crazy. Job openings tumbled below 10 million in February for the first time in nearly 2 years. We have 9.93 million job openings. That's a 632,000 drop since January. Now remember, most of these jobs are in the service sector. Most of these jobs are part-time. Most of these jobs don't offer benefits, don't offer medical insurance. And we're going to continue to see more and more people working multiple jobs. Half this country now is working more than one job. And it's amazing that half this country doesn't even have $400 in cash saved up. And we have a nation of 60 to 70%, depending on what data you look at, 60 to 70% of the people working in this country are working paycheck to paycheck. This is completely unsustainable, ladies and gentlemen. And when you look at how unprepared the average American is for this collapse, the carnage, the fallout, the fragmentation, whatever you want to call it, when this thing really begins to spiral out of control, is going to be so destructive to the average person who is completely unaware and oblivious to what is happening right now behind the scenes and what is going to happen. Most people will wake up one day and they're just going to say, what just happened? They'll be completely wiped out, completely unprepared, food insecure, security insecure, skill set insecure. They're going to have absolutely no chance whatsoever. And these will be the people that are 100% dependent on the system for a handout, for food, for security, for health, for anything. They're going to be complete debt slaves. TheEconomicCollapse.com. The dollar is in trouble. Here are 7 signs that the global de-dollarization has just shifted into overdrive. And as many of you know, and I know, most people that we have around us, relatives, family members, friends, associates at work, neighbors, have no idea what is going on. Most people that I talk to, unless they're in my circle, have no idea what is going on. The BRICS nations account for over 40% of the total global population and close to 1/4 of global GDP. So the fact that they're working and developing a new currency should greatly concern all of us. Imagine what is going to happen when you have trillions of dollars coming back to the US, when there is serious competition to the world reserve currency, the petrodollar. You are going to see hyperinflation in America. And you're beginning to see and hear more about this on the television. And people have no idea. This is like Latin to most people. They have no idea what this is going to do to the US dollar, to their purchasing power, to their standard of living. They have no idea. And they are not preparing for the devastation to come. And the way you prepare is you get rid of your debt, you hold hard tangible assets like gold, like silver, like land. You have emergency food, water, training, skill sets, everything. You need to be doing everything right now to put the odds in your favor. Be as diversified as possible. Be prepared as much as possible. Two of the BRICS nations, China and Brazil, have just reached a deal to trade in their own currencies. Last week in Indonesia, finance ministers from the Asian nations discussed ways to reduce dependence on the dollar, dependence on the euro, dependence on the yen, dependence on the British pound. Saudi Arabia has just agreed to become a dialogue partner in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The Chinese just completed its first trade of liquefied natural gas, LNG, that was settled in Chinese currency instead of US dollars. We are watching history in the making right now. This was 65,000 tons of liquid natural gas from United Emirates. India now offering its currency as an alternative for trade to countries that are facing a dollar shortage. They'll be more than happy to let you use their currency. I think we're going to see not just one global currency competing against the dollar. We may see a handful of currencies across the globe competing against the US dollar. Saudi Arabia has just actually agreed to accept Kenyan shillings as payment for oil shipments to Kenya instead of US dollars. 10 years ago, none of this would have happened. Now things, ladies and gentlemen, are accelerating at a breathtaking pace. If you would have even mentioned this 10 years ago, people would have thought you were absolutely crazy. They would have said it's absolutely impossible. Now it's beginning to happen. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow or next week, but it is beginning to accelerate. And it's not a matter of if it happens, it is now a matter of when it happens. Could it happen next year? Could it happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I don't think it's going to be that far out. But it is begun. And this is still allowing you some time to prepare because your world is about to change. The economiccollapse.com, the banking crisis gets worse. $1.7 trillion in unrealized losses loom as U.S. banks rapidly bleed deposits. They're still bleeding deposits, ladies and gentlemen. We are far from out of this crisis. Depositors drained $98.4 billion the week ending March 15th. Well, week ending March 22nd, another $126 billion was pulled out of U.S. banks. Banks are bleeding cash right now. There is still a run on banks. And these banks are going to have to sell, if this keeps up, they're going to have to sell assets in order to have enough cash. They're going to have to raise capital. What are they going to do? What can they do? They're going to have to sell assets. Unfortunately, these assets are being so devalued. We are not out of the woods with this, and this, to me, is just the beginning. And again, banks may be forced to sell assets that are depreciating excessively. The hedge today, Manhattan real estate sales tumble 38%, while cash deals hit record. Cash is going to be important here. We know that cash is being eaten up by inflation. There's no doubt about that. But right now, I think you have to have some cash to take advantage of some of the deals that are going to be coming, especially in real estate. We are going to see blue light specials coming in all types of sectors here. You're going to see deflation at some point hit America in housing, commercial real estate, boats, RVs, automobiles, land, you name it. A lot of things are going to go on sale, and I believe you're going to need cash. And if you have gold or silver, say that gold doubles, silver doubles. It's very, very liquid. You can turn it into literally any currency on planet Earth very, very quickly and use it to buy other assets like land, like farms, like housing, rental or income producing properties, etc. So I'm going to wrap it up right here. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're paying attention to what is going on. So many people that you know, that I know, are so oblivious. They are walking zombies. They're more concerned about who's playing baseball tonight, where they're going to go out to dinner, what are they going to buy on Amazon, what's playing on Netflix tonight. These people are going to really, really lose. And the people who are awake, the people who are taking the proper preparations right now, they're going to win. They will prevail. But there's going to be a lot of losers here. A lot of people are going to lose their businesses. They're going to lose their homes, their cars. They're going to lose their credit, their retirements. This thing is going to get very, very ugly. And I'm coming to you from Palm Desert, California on a golf course. It's extremely beautiful. It's extremely quiet today. Beautiful, beautiful, stunning day. But I know, because I'm reading and watching the data, I'm talking to people, I'm connecting the dots just like many of you. And we can get very, very complacent because it's a nice day out, or it's a nice day to play golf, or it's a nice day to go do something other than prepare. Don't get complacent, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be time later to be complacent, but right now I would be stockpiling as much capital, as many assets as I could, being as diversified as I could, and absorbing as much knowledge as I could. People will say, what can I do? What's the solution? What's the answer? Well, one thing you can do today that's absolutely free is start absorbing knowledge. Open up your mind. Start paying attention to what is going on. Stop believing everything you see and hear on the television. Start thinking for yourself. Be an independent thinker. Knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, knowledge is power, but you got to open your eyes and you got to connect the dots on your own. You got to do your own due diligence. It's absolutely free. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and a lot of people just don't want to give up that time, and they don't want to sacrifice that effort. And again, they will be the losers. This is the time right now to set yourself up for victory. Set yourself up to survive this. It's going to be about surviving and protecting your wealth, your money, your assets, without losing it all, like most people will. If you're, in my opinion, 100% invested in paper, you're going to lose. You've got to be diversified into assets right now, liquid assets like gold, like silver. You got to have a mindset. You got to have a plan here. You got to keep accumulating this stuff until you no longer can. I'm going to leave it there. It's a lot to think about. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Share this video. Make sure you subscribe. But today is another reminder that we are no way out of the woods yet. And of course, watching this political circus take place while we continue to have bank runs, while we still continue to have a banking crisis, while we are in an economic collapse. It goes on and on and on. We are just watching a political circus take place. Don't let this take your eye off the ball. Don't let this be a hindrance to what is really going on. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be looking over here when something over here is going on. Again, we have a political circus taking place, and it's a great distraction, and a lot of people will be distracted. Don't be distracted, ladies and gentlemen. Stay on path. Keep preparing. This is going to get very, very nasty. God bless.